If you're an avid gardener like I am and love plants, the one thing that can get in your way is gopher. It's no fun. You tend to think of really ridiculous ways to get rid of the gophers because you saw it somewhere on YouTube. Chewing gum? Mm-hmm. Wrigley's? Yeah, well, the gophers around here don't like that brand, apparently. I've tried cayenne pepper. Oh, yes, I have. I've diluted it and I've put it straight in the ground. Doesn't work. I've tried planting plants that they're not supposed to like, and then they eat those plants. I have been applying Gopher Scram now. Last night I did the second dose of Gopher Scram in the garden, and I spread it out just like I did on the first video. If you haven't watched the first video, you can watch and see how I applied the Gopher Scram. I'm at the 10-day assessment date where I'm to water in the granulars that I put out last night, and I'm going to take a look around, and you guys can go with me. We're going to scout around and see if we can see any fresh gopher activities around where I put the Gopher Scram. So let's go. Let's start off in this area and see if we see any fresh gopher activity. And you can see the granules that I put out last night. And I did water it in this area because there was gopher activity right along here, and I could tell because under my feet it was soft, like they're tunneling under. Now, how I can usually tell that there's gopher activity is the ground is soft. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's soft and it squishes underneath my feet. Gopher activity. Right there. My neighbors think I'm crazy, probably. Well, I know they do. Because I do the gopher dance often out here, checking for gopher activity. Right there. That is gopher proof. So I'm going to get out the Gopher Scram, put some in there, half a cup, and cover the hole up. And so I went ahead and put some more out here and watered it in, but I did not do the rest of the spiral where I applied it last time. So I put the granules on, but I did not water it in, so I've got to do that. But I wanted to take a good look first to see if there's any fresh gopher activity along here. There's one spot. But I knew it was going to take reapplication ahead of time, so I was aware of that. And so did I expect all of the, I was hopeful that all of the gopher activity was going to be gone. So just an honest evaluation of how it's going here in the garden after day 10. And I've just applied the second application of Gopher Scram. And so I'm going to go ahead and water the rest of the spiral, and we'll take it from there. It's really crazy with the gophers too, because they can go a little while and kind of fool you. They're smart, those gophers. They can fool you into thinking they're not around anymore. But you know what? There's been days where maybe I've come out with a book and I'm just kicking back, relaxing, and I look up and the purple fountain grass, the fronds are swaying in the wind, and it's just so beautiful. And I think, wait a minute, there's no wind right now. And I go and look, and sure enough, they're chomping at the roots of that frickin' purple fountain grass. No way. I emergency take those out, replant them in wire cages that I made and cut my fingers up doing it, let me say. But I still am going to plant things in gopher mesh bags, anti-gopher bags, like the root guards. I'll still use those, and I also use the Dollar Tree little bins. I'll show you those. And I'm still going to plant in those because, you know, just because I apply this Gopher Scram and get some positive results, that I don't breathe easily as a gardener here. You do actually have some purple fountain grass that are planted in those as well. So if you haven't tried those, they work great in the garden for multiple ways. One of those is protecting from gophers, smaller plants. But I have planted some purple fountain grass when it was young in it, and no problems there. The roots are growing through, and they're still living, and these plants are probably about 4 years old now on the walkway. As they say, gophers don't like this plant, does not mean they will not eat that plant. I'm telling you they will. And just because they ate something last year doesn't mean that that's what's going to be on the menu for them this year, because I find that they go after different things every season. So something they haven't touched before, they eat it. So there's nothing safe from gophers. Just like you hear people say, there's nothing deer-proof. There you go. E.P.I.C Repellents makes all kinds of repellent products for keeping different critters out of your garden or your yard, off your property. Everything from wild hogs to armadillos to gophers, moles, all that. There's tons there. So I'll put a link in the description, and you can take a look at that and see if there's anything there that you might be interested in that would help you in your garden. In Monterey County, the problem with gophers is immense. I mean, I'll drive up to the shopping center and there's a big grass area that's mowed and manicured and right in front of the Taco Bell, and there'll be mounds of dirt where the gophers are eating. And so nowhere here is safe from the gophers. It's just crazy. It's nuts, out of control. So my aunt had some holes by some new plants that she planted, and she had got some Gopher Scram, and she's going to try it too. So it'll be more than just me evaluating to see how it does. And I'm going to let you know straight up how the product does for me. So far, where I've applied it, I have not seen any activity. However, they're kind of moving out. So they're moving out from that area, and then I'm having to put some, where I find the holes, put some product in the holes and cover those holes up. And so it's going to be a matter of time to get this under control. I don't think the gophers will ever leave completely. That's just from experience, and I've been gardening a while now. So I want some help because it does get a little bit ridiculous. And if I can keep them away from the parts of the garden that are really aesthetically pleasing to me and have plants in it that I really love, that's a bonus. So if I can even just keep one area where it's controlled somewhat, I'm going to be happy. So if this product does it, then I'll buy it. Absolutely, I'll buy it and use it. There's cayenne pepper and the gun. There's all kinds of things that you can try. And the chewing gum, yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. I think the gophers here are smarter. Yeah, we have smarter gophers. I want to say a big shout out to Iron Man again and my brother Bill. Thank you for bringing this product into the garden. And oh, by the way, I've seen Larry, the lazy garden cat, and since I've applied it twice, and Larry's just fine. So no problem with harming the pets because Larry's in and out of the garden all the time. So, and he's healthy as can be. Larry the lazy cat is not my cat, by the way. Belongs to 2 houses down. And but he loves the garden. And so he's constantly over here, in and out of the garden, and which is fine because he's the coolest cat ever. I love him. I wish he hunted gophers, but he doesn't. But he loves to play and lick lizards. Isn't that the oddest thing? So funny. It's just like Mom's dog, Lexi, rolling on snails. That was weird too, but maybe there's something to it that we don't know as humans. Might be fun. Should try that. I love the wildlife in my garden except for gophers. Thanks so much for joining me on Garden Discovery. We'll follow through with the E.P.I.C repellent at the 30-day mark. So a couple more weeks and see how that's going, evaluate everything. And I'll be in touch too with E.P.I.C repellents. I do have someone at E.P.I.C repellents who has offered some more help as far as advice on gopher behaviors. So that will be interesting too. So if I get any insight on that, which I'm hoping to soon, then I will pass that on to you if you have gopher problems in your garden. And if there's any other critter problems that you have, drop me a comment section of the video and I will try and remember to ask this, my contact at E.P.I.C Repellents. And again, just want to say a huge thank you to Iron Man, and everybody get out there and garden your hearts out.